let's talk about this. So you remember how, again, I even made a second channel video on this, right? I made a second channel video talking about there's a live action Bleach, there's a live action Solo Leveling, and there's a live action something else happening. We were talking about it, basically everything in the big 2025 as One Punch. As, once again, the man, the myth, the legend, Koroto D something predicted. After One Piece, everything is going to be getting live action adaptations. So we got our first preview of Sakamoto Days, and out of all of these, I think Sakamoto Days honestly has the biggest chance of being successful, right? I didn't know about this until very recently, and apparently this is also a movie, not a TV show. So I don't know, but in terms of storytelling, I think this could very easily be successful without anyone even knowing that it's an anime, right? Just because of the way the story is done. Like this is just a typical like a pseudo detective story with a twist, right? These stories work in live action very, very well, which again, zoom in please for comedic effect. There is a Monster Blu-ray coming out next year. Just putting it out there. So this, we'll see. You know what else would work? Death Note? Yeah, funny you mentioned that. I don't know what's going on with it, because apparently the Duffer Brothers won't be doing the Death Note. Though that was a rumor going around. I don't know if that's true or not. But yeah, Demon Slayer. Netflix is reportedly fast-tracking their Demon Slayer live-action adaptation after the massive success of Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, which, once again, Nostradamus Koroto, who could have ever predicted the Demon Slayer movie, is now the highest-grossing anime movie of all time. Again. Right? So, who could have predicted such a turn of events? So there is that. But, I mean, it's crazy what's going on. It's crazy what's going on. This source is not reliable. I don't know exactly who this person is, but they seem to be posting a bunch of news, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is true. My point is that the number of live action adaptations that are currently in production are crazy, and I still think we haven't even seen 1/100th of what's coming. I think The Last of Us was one very, very big, like, again, season 2, you know, season 2 things, but season 1 of The Last of Us was, I think, a major thing for especially big budget studios like HBO, where, like, wait a minute, we could start looking at different mediums, and we could do them really, really well. Like, the storytelling in a lot of these things is super mature. We don't need Sopranos or Game of Thrones. We can start looking at other mediums, right? So that's number one. And number two, I think One Piece is the thing that basically supercharged anime adaptations, and I think we're going to be seeing this a ton, because at this point we have entered kind of a it's venture capitalism, effectively. Because if you want to gamble on like 100 of these things, and one of them is going to be a One Piece, you're going to make a lot of money. So at this point you just kind of gamble on everything and hope that one hits. So again, I am tempted to make a series where I start counting down the days, because I am absolutely certain that within 300 days from today, we will get a live-action Attack on Titan announcement. Do you think there will be a live-action adaptation at some point that is better than the anime? Yes. Yes. I think, honestly, if someone like really understood Monster, I think Monster would hit harder in live action. I do. This is a joke I've made ever since I watched the series for the first time. I think Monster is anime in disguise. I think Monster the anime was made because someone wanted to make a movie, but they couldn't get actors and everything, so instead they did like a Trojan horse and told a typical movie story in anime. I think Monster is anime in disguise. It's like Kojima. You know how Kojima is making video games, but actually he's making movies? It's basically Kojima. Like, his games are movies in disguise. That's what I mean. I do think Kojima is actually working on movies now. So that's not even true anymore, but it's basically what I'm saying. I think if someone like really understood Monster and they were passionate about adapting Monster in live action would go unfathomably hard. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything else. I think you could do Steins Gate really, really well in live action. But there's a lot of, like, Steins Gate is really unique in the way it leverages the anime medium in terms of lowering your guard. It does a lot of, like, anime tropes, not because they're anime tropes, but because they're disarming you. And I think that wouldn't work in live action. So I don't know about that. Anything that is shonen, like shonen, I am very, very cautious about, because shonen is automatically a thing where like a lot of shonen storytelling is improved by the fact that it can go crazy in anime, right? Whereas with like everything else, if the story is like mostly mature, mostly grounded, I think live action mediums are good. Personally, I think so, but I bet you anime fans will never admit it. Yeah, I think this is true. I think there's a lot of like it's not even gatekeepy. I think there's a lot of like people are really, really weird about criticizing certain aspects of anime in general. And I think this is kind of like I've seen other people talk about it, and I find like a lot of analysis on it really interesting, because anime was one, like, not even that recently, it was kind of like a micro community of sorts, right? And if you were in that community, it was kind of like small, everyone kind of knew everything, and you wanted to protect that small little community, right? And so now that people are coming in and criticizing your little community, you feel like you are being insulted because you were there when the community started. It's that kind of weird psychological effect, right? And I think there is a little bit of that with anime fans, where it's kind of like there's like cognitive dissonance going on in many ways. But I'm not smart enough to talk about that. I just know that a lot of people are really, really weirdly protective of certain anime IPs and like everything around them. Live action Vinland Saga, bro. Live action Vinland would also go hard. Yes, I've got like the only thing with live action Vinland is Thorfinn. I've got no idea how you would do Thorfinn, because Thorfinn, like, you're supposed to have a kid, and doing a kid in live action is always hard. Literally every single of the biggest shows on television has struggled with doing kids, right? Like from Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, Sopranos, even. Like, it's always a problem. Oh yeah, another live action adaptation, Edge of Tomorrow 2. I've got no idea if this is true, because I think there were like this has been rumored for so long. I don't want to trust this. But if you don't know, Edge of Tomorrow is an adaptation of a light novel. All you need is kill, right here. This is what Edge of Tomorrow is based on, in case you didn't know. So this is a live action adaptation. Very successful live action adaptation. I really, really want 2, is what I want. Edge of Tomorrow 2 is going to be stuck into production hell. I think so too. Like, Edge of Tomorrow 2 has been rumored for so insanely long that I just don't see it coming out anytime soon.